Hey, how's it going?
Today we're doing an oil change for the mother's Mazda CX-3.
Yes.
So we did a check of the oil just beforehand.
Yep.
And we found that oil's, it's got dirt on it, but it's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse oil.
Right.
We were going to change the oil filter as well, but I think last time we did that, so based on the fact that the oil's not too dirty, we're not going to change the oil filter. But we got one. Anyway.
Just in case.
Yeah.
The last time I had all sorts of trouble getting that off.
Yeah. So like that. So
I even punched a hole through it and put a screwdriver in to try and get it off.
So we've just got this brand new oil, Alphaline.
That's the cheap stuff.
Yeah, cheap stuff.
So how do you know which oil to get?
You Google it. So the shop we had gone to actually had tablets. You could look up the actual car make, and then it'd give you a recommendation based on it. So it just said, I think it just gave us the 5W to 30, and then we just picked out any old one.
So what's that 5W to 30 mean?
It's the temperature range that the oil can handle. It goes up and down based on the viscosity.
Okay, so an older car, they have higher numbers at both ends.
Yeah. So we're going to do an oil change. So I've got the bucket there. Got some newspaper
That's
on
not
the
a
ground.
bucket, that's a tray.
Got a tray there. Got the newspaper down. There's a cover underneath the car that I need to take off.
And we put the car up on chocks or
Ramps.
on ramps because we're tired of jacking it up.
Yeah. It was very scary putting it up. The car sort of locked into place.
And what other safety precautions do we do when we putting a car up like this?
I've put bricks behind the back tyres.
Yep.
Just sort of lock it in place so it doesn't roll back.
I guess you'll be under the car, so I'll be safe.
Yeah.
Right. So
I've got to take the cover off underneath, and then it'll reveal the plug. And they've done weird things with the plug, so it's actually meant to be like a slot, like a certain tool that they used. I remember watching the video. You can't really buy them unless you're auto mechanic. And we found that an Allen key of a certain size actually fits in. So after I take the cover off, we're going to try all the different Allen keys.
this is like manufacturers doing the whole thing about, oh, you can't repair it yourself or you can't maintain a product yourself.
So we'll use that, take the plug out, just let it all pour out, and then put some new oil in, and hey presto, and then we'll just do a top up it with a coolant as well.
So you're not going to replace the coolant?
No, just top it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to replace the coolant, is it similar? You just find the drain plug and drain it out and then top her up?
I don't actually know. I've never drained the coolant. I assume it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get cracking.
Yeah.
Under
You'll
the
see
car.
my hands all black in the next one.
Right. Is that your workwear? Is it alright if you
Yeah,
can
I've
get
got
that?
your pants on. So
They're my pants. You're not meant to get those dirty. Get your own gear.
Don't worry, I'll
Get your own hobo gear and oil that up.
spanner here. Go on up. See if
Some
this fits.
some say that you are the spanner. Do I see movement under there? No, there's just plastic coverings for everything.
Okay, this is way too big for what I need. It needs to be much smaller, probably half the size of this one. It's just here where
Alright.
my hand is. I can tell because this one's the wet one and this one's not the wet one. This one here. So there's just a screw here, and then this whole cover comes off, and then I can get to the plug.
Alright, we'll get the cover off.
Yeah, I need a different. I'm gonna get into my car and get my adjustable spanner.
Alright, we have to stop the oil change because the cat caught a mouse and brought it inside. Hey, Hey, take that outside. You can't eat the mouse in here. Come on. Oh, where's my mouse? Go get it, Critter. So we're just getting all the plastic covers off.
There should only be one plastic cover. It's just this, it's quite large for what it is. It's wet, but I hope it's not oil. I hope it's just water. It looks like it is oil.
Well, once you get the cover off, check for leaks.
Yeah.
So just look for fresh oil.
Well, the screw's got oil on it. What's to come? I think the whole thing's been leaking. Ugh.
Now that's why you don't wear your good clothes. To prevent oil from getting all over your good clothes, you've now swapped it out for a spongy one.
Right, I'm going to check because the cover was pretty oily. Oh, there was a fly caught in there.
A fly?
Yeah, there's a fly covered in oil that came out as well. Absolutely cased him. Mummified.
God.
Right there.
Well, I don't particularly care about flies.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it probably wasn't tightened enough, the plug, because it looks like it's been leaking just a tiny bit.
Okay.
So now I need an Allen key.
Did you find an Allen key?
I found a Allen key.
Alright, get the pants off and put these old ones on, because I want my good pants back.
What? Tell it away.
Alright, you've got a good fashion sense.
For oil changing.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about the Allen keys?
What you're going to do is find them. Find the right fitting ones. That one's too small.
I'll be sure that it's too small first. So when you want to pour out all the oil from
You mean drain out the oil?
Yeah, drain out the oil. You want to take off oil cap and have this out. The dipstick.
Yes, you don't pull it all the way out, you just slightly pull it out. And then you can drain the oil.
Yep.
So you've already got the cap off and it's drained out.
Yep.
And I can see a bit of oil beside on the newspaper. Good thing we put down some newspaper, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was black, but it wasn't tar black.
And there's the Allen keys that we spent the last 15 minutes looking for.
Yeah.
So where were the Allen keys?
Next to the spanners over there in a bag. There's 2 bags of spanners. I looked in one, I didn't look in the other.
Okay. And what about the battery?
Well, battery, you want to replace every 3 to 5 years, but we dated when we last changed the battery.
Yeah. So we just write the battery.
May 2021.
Okay, so it's got a few more years left in it. As long as you don't leave the lights on when you're parked.
Or the radio going, or your dash cam pulling from your battery.
Parasitic devices, they call them. Oh, you made your own funnel.
This
Excellent.
one's from last time, I'm pretty sure.
There's no sand in there because that's the last thing we want.
It's like spider web, maybe.
So as long as there's no sand in there. Okay, so
I've just opened this new oil, had the seal on it still, but I'm going to use the funnel and the bottom part,
the drain,
the drain.
it's still open.
Yes, it's still open because we're going to flush some good oil through just to sort of push out all
What, the whole
oil.
thing? The whole 5 litres?
No, just a bit. Just to get all the old oil out. So,
Alright.
you'll see a bit of like brown gunk on the bottom still because it'll be all the...
Yeah, so you put about half a cup or so in there. Usually it goes in the funnel, not on the engine. Some of that good oil coming out.
Oh, yeah, it's still got the golden colour.
Yep, so you can close it off now and we'll fill it up.
Alright. Let's go a bit more, but the plug's right here. So, I'm going to put this into there, block it up, but you can see, not sure if the light's picking it up, you have to use an Allen key to loosen this, because usually they protrude and then you can just use a spanner to loosen them, but this one's like a innie or an outie belly button. This one's an innie. I can do this mostly by hand, but the last bit that you tighten, you just use the Allen key, but still fairly wet. It's a bit difficult. Not that much range of motion.
Manufacturers making it easier to maintain your car, eh?
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to put more oil in.
And
the
drain plug.
plug. It's in. We put the cover on. So now if we put oil in, it's going to stay in, but we won't fill it up to the very top. And the reason is that we've still got the car on the ramps, so it's at an incline, so you won't get an accurate reading when you check with the dipstick. You know, minimum, maximum, but you try and get as close to maximum without overdoing it. But then we'll just reverse the car, get it on flat land again, or nice level.
On the dipstick, there's like a hashed out section, so you want it basically in the middle. You don't want it full. Let's see if you can get it in without spilling it this time. Look at those steady hands.
Like a surgeon.
So how many litres are in that?
This whole bottle has, I think, 5 litres. 5 litres.
Yeah.
So what, you use anywhere between like 2 to 3 when you're completely refilling?
I think it's way more than 2.
Jesus, I'm hearing dripping. The bottle. That's not good, because I put that thing on really tight.
How could it be tight if I could see oil coming out of the car?
Yeah. Oh well, looks like I'm going back under.
So why were we leaking oil?
So the reason why we had oil leaking from the bottom was because the cap that we were using, or the funnel that we were using, was slightly too big and wasn't a perfect fit as a funnel for the hole. So we actually had some oil going down, but not into the actual
Yeah, it was leaking around the edges and going all over the engine and coming out the bottom.
Yep.
So
false alarm.
yes, but how do we fix the problem?
Yes, we use a funnel with a smaller hole, so you can guarantee to get it in. So yeah, we should have used this one. But there we go. False alarms, it was all good. We did a good job.
That means we're going to have to put newspapers under the car for the next week, collecting all the oil that's going to be...
Oh, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I got some on my forehead, I think. Alright, I'm going to pour some more oil in. Okay, let's make sure this doesn't... Yeah. It's a lot easier now that the container's not nearly as full. It's going to about halfway, so probably about 2.5 litres.
This time we don't have any sound of oil coming out the bottom.
What's that? 1, 2... That's 2.5, so we've put 2.5 in.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So check the dipstick and see if it shows any oil. Okay, show me the tip.
I think it hasn't gone in yet, because it's only the very tip is still wet. So
That's right, nowhere near enough oil.
Yeah. Still got the handbrake on, right?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't leave it in neutral without a handbrake on. You're looking for that mouse we took off you. You're still looking for that mouse?